In this video, I am going to explain the concept of subnets, primarily why a subnet is needed and how it rectifies some problems that are existing in a single network without subnets. So let's move on from here. Let's take an example how subnet improves performance in various ways. One of the way in which a subnet improves performance is by reducing network congestion, network traffic, which is also called as the network latency. The amount of traffic in the networks is called as network latency. So let us see how this grouping of IP addresses into separate subnets instead of a single network resolves all the problems and improves the performance in administering the network. Let us take an example here. Let us take 40 systems that need to be connected to a network area. So let us assign the IP addresses here to those 40 systems. This is an example. So let us assign an IP address range starting from 10.106.79.1 to 10.106.79.40. So this is just an example here. If now the concept of subnetting does not exist, then all the systems have to be grouped under a single network, as I have shown above in the diagram. But there are some problems that exist in such a scenario. See, I have connected all the 40 systems to a single network device. So all the 40 systems are under a single network. So they have a single network ID and a default subnet mask. That is also a single subnet mask. All the 40 systems have a default single subnet mask and the same network ID and the same subnet mask. Well, let us say a system 1 wants to communicate with system 7. So when the system 1 needs to communicate with system 7, then the message needs to be sent to the system 7 exclusively. But that is not going to happen in a network, in an inter-network communication here. That means all the systems are within a single network. So this is an inter-network communication. So the message from system 1, instead of reaching system 7 alone, reaches all the 39 systems, including the system 7. So the message is broadcasted across all the systems, and the IP address that matched the IP address of the destination system will finally receive the address. So you can clearly see what's happening here. The message is delivered to all the systems, but only the destination systems, the IP address is matched with the system 7. So system 7 receives the message which system 1 has sent. Since the IP address doesn't match with the remaining 38 systems, those 38 systems reject the message. So what we see here is the message is unnecessarily transmitted across all the remaining systems. So this creates a lot of congestion, network congestion, which could have been properly used for another purpose. Now another issue is the message is broadcast to all the systems. So all the systems are able to receive the message and can able to receive or read the message, which is a security risk, which is a very serious problem. So the security is compromised, the speed is reduced, and the efficiency in the network is also compromised. So in order to avoid all these pitfalls, the concept of the subnetting used. So by grouping all these systems into functionally different groups, like there are some groups, 10 systems are grouped under one functionality, and another 4 in another, another 4 in another, and so on. So by grouping them, instead of lumping all the systems into a single block, when you break them into different groups, these problems are resolved, such as the congestion problem is resolved, the security issue is also resolved, the network performance issue is also resolved. So let's see in the next diagram how the subnets concept is used to communicate among these systems by reducing all these problems. See, if we, I have divided all these systems instead of, this is the backbone network, this is the single line, this is the main cable across which the internet traffic moves, and these are the sub branches. These are the sub branches across where the traffic moves to the sub networks. So this is the main cable. So what we have done is, instead of keeping all the systems in one network, we have put the systems into different groups. So each subnet has its own router here. These are all the routers. So these are all the routers. These are all 8 groups are there, and each subnet, this group is nothing but a subnet, and a subnet will have its own subnet ID. Here, see, we have taken a subnet mask of 255.224.0. This is the subnet mask. We have taken this subnet mask, and the IP address we have taken is 104.106 range .0.0. This is the range from this 140.106.0.0. So from this range, this is the range 140.106.0.0. So these last two can be filled up, and this is standard. So we have taken this IP address range. From this we will use the IP addresses. So here this is group 1, this is subnet 1 S1, this is subnet 2 S2, this is subnet 3 S3, this is subnet 4 S4, this is S5, this is S6, this is S7, and this is S8. So there are 8 subnets here, and each one has its own subnet ID. The S1 has subnet ID 140.106.96.0, that is the subnet ID. Within this, these are all the IP addresses of the systems. And S2 has subnet ID of 140.106.32.0. In this, it has its own IPs. The systems has the IPs. And in S3, the subnet is 140.106.0.0. This is another subnet ID. And they all belong to this IP address block. So and S4 has 104.106.64.0.0. S5 has 140.106.224.0. This is the subnet ID. S6 subnet ID is 140.106.192.0. S7 subnet ID is 140.106.160.0. S8 subnet ID is 140.106.128.0. These are the subnet IDs of each network IDs of each subnet. So within this network ID, these are all the available IP addresses within this network ID. 140.106.96.123. So all these systems can have IP addresses within the network ID. Similarly with other networks. So when I want to send a packet from this 8th system, I will take an example here. Let us take, I am having this system here. From this system, I want to move my data packet to, from this system, I want to move the data packet to this system. I mean, like, I want to send a message to this system, that is here. This is the system. So if I want to move from this system to system, this will send a message saying that the network ID, the IP address is 140.160. I want to send it. I will show you here. So this is the source IP and this is the destination IP. So the source IP address is 104.106.128.1 and the destination IP address is 104.106.32.1. So the network ID for the source and the destination. So the network ID is for the source IP, the network ID is 104.106.128.0 and the destination IP's network ID is 104.106.32.0. So here this is it. So this from the message needs to move from this source IP to this destination IP. So when the message needs to be sent from this IP to this destination IP, it will check what is the network ID of the destination system. The network ID of the destination system is 104.106.32.0. So these message packets. So this the message packet from this system to this system directly moves to the like this. It moves directly to the system. So instead of traversing all, it will directly go from this cable like this. Instead of traveling like across all the network, it directly travels to the which network ID it belongs. It travels to that particular router. So it directly that means it is bypassing the remaining all the other 6 subnets. Instead of moving across all over the network, it directly moves across to the network S2, that is with the network ID 104.106.32.0 instead of the remaining are all subnets. So in this way the network performance increases and the speed also